All right, everyone. Let's get started. Okay. Well, thank you everyone to participate in this promotional seminar for the MBA for Youth program. And I really appreciate your time to spend probably the next 30 to 45 minutes with me and to allow me to introduce this MBA for Youth program. The MBA for Youth program is really aimed to help the middle school and the high school student to understand some basic business concepts and which I'm going to spend some time to explain. And today we're going to first give you a really summary, a history of MBA for Youth program and what it's about and why I actually created this MBA for Youth program at the first place. And the second, I'm going to share with you some of my views about what is the business education, and especially for teenagers. And the third part, I'm going to talk about business competitions in general, and most likely I will have another seminar which normally dedicated to business competitions for middle school and high school students sometime in mid-January or early February time. And during that time, I will give you more details about the individual business competitions that I have been either as a national judge or participated, or actually for some business competition actually help the students to understand the related business knowledge. Okay, and then I'm going to talk about the 2023 winter camp schedule. There's two classes offered during the last week of this December. And also, I'm going to share with you the spring semester class schedule. And then we'll have a Q&A, and you are welcome to ask any questions. You can put it in the chat or use your microphone, whatever you prefer. And also throughout this seminar, I'm going to use English, but during the Q&A session, you are free to use Chinese or English as you like. All right, so let's get started. And the first thing I'd like to give you a very brief introduction of myself. And I noticed some familiar names on the screen. So, but I still want to introduce myself to the rest of the people. And well, my name is Jingwei Meng, and I actually received my bachelor degree from Peking University. Um, almost 30 years ago, actually. And I got my PhD degree from Duke University. And later on, I got my MBA degree in finance and supply chain management from Kelley School of Business, which is in Indiana University. Right now, this is where I'm actually right now. Um, uh, I right after I got my PhD degree, I actually went to San Diego Supercomputer Center to be a program analyst. And also, over the past several years, I serve as operation and financial consultant for several companies. And especially during my spare time, I actually probably spend most of my spare time in education. One is music education, a virtual evaluation platform, collaborate with professors from Jacob School of Music. That's actually Indiana University as well. Jacob School of Music is probably the largest music programs in the United States, I think, and very well known. And so I collaborate with the several faculty members there trying to create an education and also virtual evaluation platform. And of course, this is actually highly related to because of the pandemic, right? And over the past many years, since 2018, I actually spent a lot of time for this MBA for Youth program. And this program is actually dedicated to provide a systematic education for the middle school and high school students. And why 2018, right? So here is a very brief history of how this MBA for Youth program started. And back in 2018, this is actually when our college classmates actually have a reunion, and we actually talking about well, what should we do with the kids when we have the reunion? So we actually the classmates, we decided to provide some kind of a business education, some kind of a different chemistry or astronomy, different things for the kids, just to open them up, like to help them to see this is a field that regularly the middle school and high school student will maybe just heard the word. They don't know what they are. So we want to create a very quick summer camp, just provide some basic knowledges. And for me, and I feel like, well, I just feel that business is actually something really opened up my own eyes to look at things. And business education for me is actually help me to look at things completely differently, from not technical, but rather from a business point of view. And that is not actually, for me, it's a very, very new thing, brand new perspectives for me to look at things. And I actually feel that this is great. This is actually something, if I were able to get into some kind of a business related topics and academic areas, I may be a better prepared professionally and also academically and personally as well. So that's actually the initial inspiration why I started this MBA for Youth program back in 2018. So over the years in the 2018 and 2019, I actually started to create a summer camp in those 2 years. And also we offered some weekend school at Indiana, where I live, with collaboration with 2 local Chinese schools. And I just feel that this is something it's really important and will have a deep impact for those students who participate in this program. And in particular, I feel that we always know that we're good at science, right? Chinese kids are good at science, and we're good at STEMs. But nonetheless, we always notice that there's always what we call a glass ceiling above us to prevent us to get into executive or management levels. And this is actually my thinking to help the students actually to start to think like a business person and to create like entrepreneurship mindset when they're young. And this is actually, I feel it's very important. And then in 2020, and of course, we know that what happened during the end of 2019 and early 2020, right? It's COVID-19. And this actually, well, in a way, forced me to move all the local activities into a virtual setting. So since 2020, I started to move all our class contents to a virtual setting, to have online classes. So that I would say with really strong strong encouragement for me and the students, and provide an opportunity for me to reach out actually students across the globe. Okay, and in 2021, we actually started to move more classes in there. And for example, not just marketing and negotiation classes, but we included strategy. We put in the initial finance classes, and we also put in some law and ethics classes. And in particular, towards the end of in the fall semester in the 2021, I actually started to help the students. This is all charity work, and started to help the student to participate one of the prestigious, I would say the most prestigious business competition for the high school student, which is a Wharton Global High School Investment Competition. And we actually got a really great results over there. And I'll explain those computation in later slides. And following in 2022, last year, we actually included more classes involving with psychology, involving with investment decisions. And in particular, we continued to offer the computation-free classes to all the students. And this year, in particular, we actually added more. We actually included last track. I'll talk about which tracks where I'm referring to later on. And we actually included last track of the whole business education program, which is supply chain and operations. And of course, we continue the computation free classes as well. Okay, so I also put the logos of the collaborating organization here, and note mentioning, especially I started collaborate with Arts of Sciences AOS since 2020, and also Future Bridge, which is the student-run nonprofit organization, and I started collaborate with them to say if we can provide efficient and interesting business classes for all the students. So those two organizations has been collaborate with me since a very early stage of this MBA for Youth program. And later on, of course, I included many other organizations, for example, the Prep EDU, and also the US Family E-Education. And those organizations actually help me to in organizing new classes, and they do have a specific needs. So I actually tailored my classes to match their needs. And in particular, I want to mention the US Family E organization, and we actually started a capstone class in summer this year, 2023, and it's actually a combination with kind of a STEM in app design, app creation with a business. And I collaborate with another Dr. Meng and Dr. Meng Yu. And so we actually created this 2-week, very intensive learning, but combine the business with a STEM subject. So this is our first try, and I think the results is quite interesting and very impactful. Okay, so well, I just want to spend some time to thanks those organizations, collaborating organization with me. Well, you can see there's Springdale Preparatory, that's a private school back in Maryland, and the Migo Education, and so on. Okay. All right. So I mentioned a lot of classes here, right? So how should I categorize them, or how should I make them more systematic? So the next slide exactly show the most recent class structure for MBA for Youth program. Okay, and you can clearly see over here, and the whole classes is actually being divided into 5 tracks: marketing track, strategy, operation, finance, and special topics. Okay, in particular, just from the name, you know that all those tracks consist with the entry level classes, and there's an advanced level, and there's the more advanced level for the senior students, and also especially for the special topics part, it actually consists with the classes which is it's actually being used by all the rest of the tracks. It's marketing, strategy, operation, and finance, but also it has some kind of standalone capability. And I use the special topics track. It's really, I believe, those are the tracks are very, very important for the student to at least to know what business is. And they should be able to attract the students. The class were designed with very interactive case studies, group meetings, and the simulations, online simulations, and group simulations. And those activities actually encourage students to know what the business really is. It's not something like you talk about business concept, but rather talk about how business really run in this real world. Okay, so I will go back to this course structure later on, but right now, let's talk about the system. Okay, so when you are looking at this course schedule, and many of you, if you ever finish or know MBA degree, you probably will feel very familiar. And I agree, actually, because this is actually, I designed the class, actually have one key word in mind, which is entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is a pretty mouthful word, right? But I would say it's actually something like how you run a business. Okay, so the system, in my mind, for the business education is actually we always start from marketing, which is actually quite simple. The reason is if you don't know how to promote your products, then how can you make profit? If you don't even know how to sell your product or services, how can you be a successful business, right? So the marketing is actually probably the first thing for anyone to start a business have to think. What kind of product, customers, market, competitors, risk? So the marketing consists with essential classes B001, and it's actually, that's the one I believe is the foundation of the whole classes. And if you look at this, the B001 over here, that's actually the starting point for all the tracks, okay? All right, so after the marketing, then you have to perform an internal and external business strategy, which is how you're going to run the business. So the first one is how do you sell your stuff, sell your product or services. The second is what is the activities you're going to do for your strategy. So that's the strategy. And then you have to do something, which is the operation. And after the operation, let's say you know how to sell your stuff and you know how what to sell and how to sell, and you did sell, with all the operation management, and then you have to think money, right? Finance. So all those 4 tracks, it actually have a very clear mindset that actually someone you want to run a business, what you need to do. Okay, and the special tracks part involved with data analysis, involved with how to negotiate, involved with law and ethics involved, especially in the financial world, and involved with the psychology factors. For example, how your business decision is actually being affected psychologically. And if I put everything all together, like I said, one word can be a summary, which is entrepreneurship. Okay, so this is actually the systematic view from my eyes that a successful and interesting and also fruitful, probably, and for a middle school and high school student. And then I always being asked this question: when should we start? Right? So the question is actually coming to my mind for a while already. The reason is I actually received my business education at a quite late stage of my life. It's actually, you see, after I got my PhD. And so I'm actually thinking for myself, ask myself the same question: when will be the best time to start? And I have to admit that business concept is not natural. Okay, business concept is something that a lot of people generalize from their own business management, business operations, financial activities, strategy formations. This is not something natural that exactly. You put one finger and two fingers together, you show this is mathematics, 1 + 1 = 2. This is not natural. Okay, so business itself is actually something you need education. You need to create that mindset. And unfortunately, I don't have that opportunity when I was young. Okay, and everyone here knows, right? So I was actually educated through education, which is you're doing great. You get good scores, and the final aim is you get into the best college in China, right? So I did quite well, right? And my STEM subjects, chemistry, physics, mathematics, are really good, and but I don't have the opportunity to learn any of the subjects taught here. But when is the best time to start? So here is actually also my point of view for the business education. Let's start from K to grade 5. That's the elementary school grade. Okay. So at the very beginning, I would actually think to get the interest of the students is actually the most important. So I would always start with a business literacy education. For example, there's a movies, and there's a documentaries, there's a biographs, and something like that. It's help the students to develop some of the basic business mindset when they were young. Okay, and at the grade 6, I will incorporate this with my own classic structure as well. In the grade 6 and beyond, it's actually the time to know some of the negotiation techniques, because something that we always use. It's not debate, okay? Negotiation is a completely different mindset from debate. And also some law and ethics. You want to create a friendly and healthy business environment for you to run the business, right? And psychology factors. And you may be surprised at, you may think, well, psychology, that's just a big word. And what what should we let the student know? How should we let them student understand that concepts? But you will be surprised, actually, throughout my education for the psychology, most of the students, any student beyond grade 6, they actually have their own version of how the psychology works. And when we introduce different factors about psychology, and they actually feel, oh, this is actually something I realize, but I never generalize this way. So I actually feel that the negotiation, law and ethics, and psychology should be a very early part of the business education. And go into let's say middle school, and that's when the students are ready for very basic concepts. For example, product, customers, market, business risk, and competitors. So this is actually the initial part, something like marketing, and also the basic business concepts. And right before the student get into the high school, and this is when the student actually, they are able to understand some internal and external business analysis, and also how to implement the strategy. So this is the part actually I really emphasize on. This is about how you finish things, how you do things. Strategy is not the goal. Strategy is a set of actions and you need to implement. So that is the strategy. So when students accept this concept, I actually feel that their whole mindset is actually jump to the next level. They are not staying to making claims, but rather they will make the claims to be a set of activities, which is, I call it strategy, and then they can be successful later on. And at grade 9, which is the first year in the high school, and they are ready to talk about operations and to get used to the accounting, corporate finance, investment, so all the important concepts of the business. And if you notice that this is actually very similar to the tracks I offer, and which you can actually easily follow. Okay, and at grade 10, I recommend you can attend some major competitions. I'm going to give you some list later on and give you a summary about this year's. And then grade 11, 12, and students are well educated. They are ready to get into some research, get some interns, and get even some jobs related. And so, well, of course, this is not saying if a student get already in grade 10, then there's no hope for the business equation. Here is really show the ideal way the student can get touch with the business concepts. This is education, not just through the MBA for Youth program, but rather through reading the news, and understand the business story, what's behind it, some of the stock information, some of the current event stuff. Then, so all those informations actually is actually being fed into the student's mind along the way. But if you can use a systematic approach to create a mindset for the student, and that will be a great beneficial action you can do. Okay, so like I said, this is not like a minimum requirement or something, but rather this is a way I feel that the student can take this path and understand the business, create a business mindset systematically, and with a stepwise instructions. All right, so I did mention major competitions here, and I'm not going to, before I move to the next slide, I have to share with you my thinking about business competition. Okay, and I myself, I actually serve as a national judge for the DECA FBLA previously, and So I know what they are, and also I help my students to participate those club-based competitions myself, and also I help the students to participate Wharton Global Investment High School Students Investment Competition. And this is a free class open to everyone. And I hope to use this opportunity to encourage everyone to understand the business concepts. And I actually spent a lot of time trying to help the student to participate competition. However, whenever I start a new class or help the student to participate in the competition, I always put this paragraph up front. So I always told the students and their parents that competition, especially for business competition, is actually a side product. It's not the major goal. The major goal to attend the business competition is actually to provide an opportunity for the student to utilize their knowledge. It's like a business project in the real life. So the outcome is really a side product of whatever you do for the business competition. And I'm not saying getting into the final 10 or getting into the first place or second place is not important. What I'm saying is those are the natural side product through your business education. And that business education will last forever throughout the student's personal, financial, professional, academic life. Okay, but that business competition result will probably last only a few years. Maybe it's good for the college application, but that's all. So I always feel that the competition results is actually just a side product. So I want to emphasize that. Okay, well, having said that, I do have my own thorough research, relatively thorough research about business competitions. So I'm going to give you some of the examples, and feel free to ask me questions afterwards, okay? All right. So here is a very quick summary of business competitions. And the first one, probably the most well-known, is DECA. DECA is actually called Distributive Education Class of America. And this is actually a club-based competition, which means if you want to participate and get into the national level of DECA competitive events, that means you must have a local chapter, a DECA local chapter within your school, basically. Most of likely, it's DECA for the high school. Okay? This is a very similar for FBLA, PBL. And FBLA is an acronym of Future Business Leaders of America. And those two are probably the most two famous club-based business competitions. And many of my students, actually, they participate those DECA and FBLA events, competitive events. And it's so many topics. And that's actually one of the reasons why I will not have a specific class for DECA or FBLA, because it covers a whole wide range, and it's almost impossible to create one class to fit all. Okay, and another club-based competition is actually called BPA, Business Professionals of America. And the BPA is, I think it's less popular and only has its own existence in certain states in the United States and several other countries as well, but not as widely spread out like DECA and BLA. But all those three are actually I can put them all three into one category, which is called club-based, meaning you have to be a club member of the corresponding association, either DECA or FBLA or BPA, and you can find those information from their website, and you can find if you have a local chapter of those club-based organizations. And then once you participate the clubs, and then you are able to compete in their competitive events. And I feel that that's actually the either DECA or BLBL or BPA. I don't think there is a major difference in business learning, but rather it's their settings and their topics. And the DECA is more or less more towards the business, and FBLA is more towards the combination of STEM plus business, and BPA is a little bit more towards the business. Okay, so I feel that they all have their disadvantage and advantages. And the students, if you have a local chapter, I do encourage you to participate in one of them. And that actually helps you to open up your eyes. And I always feel that more opportunity, the better. Okay. Then comes the crown. Okay. Wharton Investment Global Youth Program, and it's actually probably the one of the prestigious competition offered for high school students. And this is not club-based. As long as you have a team of 4 to 7 people from the same school, I'm talking about the most recent requirement, all the team members must come from the same school. And you must have an advisor from the same school. And you compete with the rest of the world. Okay. So the registered team for the 2023, which is 2023 to 2024 season, which is a current competition period, I think the original registration team is over 5,000. Okay. 5,000 teams. And among those 5,000 teams, based on last year and previous statistics, roughly about 13 to 1,400 teams will actually finish the final report, meaning they are qualified for the semifinal. And how many people were selected for semifinal? Roughly about 50. So you are actually competing with starting with 5,000 teams and 1,400 teams actually submit the final report, and you are getting to be one of them. It's less than 5% of chance you can get into the semifinal. So this is actually a very competitive event. However, I have to admit, to finish it, just for your team to submit the final report actually requires a lot of efforts, and you can learn a lot of things. So that's why I actually offered a free class it's actually throughout from August to December, every Sunday nights, and free class to everyone. And this is actually, I visualize, this is a great learning opportunity for all the students who participate. Okay, so over the past years, and I started to offer the free classes in 2021. And during that time, during the pandemic, actually, we have 8 teams, and I have actually 2 teams get into the semifinal and 1 team getting into the final. And last year, I think I helped over 28 teams to participate, and 8 teams get into the semifinal. Well, 8 out of 50 teams. Just thinking about that. And actually, there are actually 3 teams getting into the final 10. So the results is great. That's something I'm really proud of my students. Okay, and this free program is actually offered as well as a charity, as a free program for everyone. Okay, so if you are interested in that, let me know. All right. However, I do want to I have to emphasize here. Okay, I'm not teaching the student how to win this competition. Like I said, I always feel that competition results is a side product. I offer the education opportunities. We talk about what you should learn through this process. Okay, so we're not offering give you a template you can fill in and win the competition. I don't consider that's a business education at all. Okay, and the next one is probably some of you actually may be familiar. It's called International Economics Olympiad and IEO, and this is relatively new. I think the first is I think back in 2017, if I remember correctly. But over the past 6 or 7 years, I think they got relatively popular now. And there are many others. Okay, there's so many business competitions, and I just list them, many of them over here. For example, the very popular one over the past many years, which is called Diamond Challenge, and this is hosted by University of Delaware, and it's basically you write a business plan. And right now I'm actually collaborating with Prep EDU and trying to see if we can have a combination of business education for the student to participate Diamond Challenge. And there's a Junior Achievement, JA, and there's IRC Genius Olympiad, NFT, SAGE, Blue Ocean, Young Trailblazer, and there just many other business competitions. And there's most of them I mentioned here is actually national level, but there's also local levels, and the student can participate. And but I always want to emphasize here, remember, the business competition is really a tool or a side product of a systematic business education. The students should not just get a final score from the competition itself, but rather the student should learn how to create a business mindset. Okay, all right, so let me go back to the classes structure over here. And the reason is a lot of students and parents actually ask me this question, that there's just so many classes, right? So many classes. And I agree with them. There are so many. But the classes, how we offer it will be offered as tracks. And you will understand what the tracks means in the following slides, okay? And in particular, we actually offer tracks for marketing, strategy, operations, and finance every semester based on the semester, spring semester, and fall semester. And during the summer camps, we normally offer one track, but we don't have time to cover the whole track. We will cover the initial class and one of the advanced class. For example, the marketing will offer B001 and M001 combined classes. It's called the extensive marketing class. Or we can offer B001 plus B002, which is extended internal business analysis class, and so on. Okay, so during the spring and fall semester, we offer a full track at a different time slot. And during the summertime, we offer one of the, like a half track of one particular ones, and we rotating from year to year. So since 2020, we started marketing. 2021, it's the summer camp, it's about strategy. 2022, that summer camp is about finance. And 2023, this year, the summer camp is actually talking about operations. And of course, next summer, the 2024 summer camp will offer again back to the marketing. Okay, so that will be a rotating. And for the winter camp, because of the short period of time, only 1 week, we can do the winter camps. And those are actually a great opportunity for the student to touch base on the special topics. And like I said, special topics are the topics that it's actually any tracks can use this, but you cannot just consider it belongs to one of them. It's like a basic, but not really basic, but rather it's a part of the knowledge body can be used throughout the business education. So for example, the data analysis, which is a data-driven business decision making, and negotiation, and law and ethics in business will talk a lot of financial and business operations law cases. For example, how about multi-level marketing, right? So this is actually a very key word used in many people throughout your life. You will being approached by someone who's actually using the multi-level marketing way to promote their products. Is this legal? Is this not? What's the definition? What's the border there? So all those informations are actually being covered with the L001 as well. And most importantly, the business decision, D001. And this is actually a class talking about how the psychological factors plays a role in people's business decisions. Okay, and this is actually the system I want to introduce to you. And here is the information for the 2023 winter camp. And the winter camp is actually will be December 26th to December 30th. It's Tuesday to Saturday. And we're going to offer 2 classes. One is N001, which is the negotiation. Negotiation techniques, we're going to educate the student how to be a successful and let's say with a better results coming out from the negotiation. And we'll do a lot of case studies, and we'll do one-on-one meetings and group negotiations and multi-party negotiations. So we actually designed a slew of negotiation cases so the student can know how to use their negotiation techniques they learn through the class. And the other class is called D001. That's the decision in psychology part. And I really feel that the D001 is actually one of the very, very interesting classes to provide very thorough coverage of the psychology factors being used in the business. For example, you know the marketing, right? And you probably know there's why. Let me give you an example. So why Amazon, why they listed all kinds of products on their website altogether. If you click one of the product, and Amazon will provide you a list saying, well, this is how many people purchase this product, also purchase other product. And then they give you a list saying, oh, other people bought the similar products. What's the psychological impact behind it? right? And so all those business practices, they actually have a very deep psychological factors behind it. So we're going to talk about many psychological factors: the bias, the confirmation, the anchor, the hindsight. So all kinds of psychological factors we're going to put into the examination under an environmental scenario, a business scenario. Okay. All right. So for the registration of the winter camp, here is the link, and it's actually, this is a collaboration with the AOS, Arts of Sciences. Go through the rmcacademy.org, and there's a winter camp, and I will put the links later on in the chat box, so you don't have to copy paste right now. And so this is the information about the winter camp. I actually feel that the winter camp is actually a great opportunity for the students to get to know what is business. And those 001 classes has no prerequisite, and you can register one or register both, whatever you prefer. Okay, so but anyway, so if you are interested, you can go to the website, and they have other winter camp classes as well. All right. So here is, sorry, the graph is rather complicated with different color with a different color designation there. But here is what I talk the track. This is the schedule, class schedule for spring semester. For the spring semester, and everything here is actually followed by the tracks. For example, the Friday from 8 to 10, all the time we hear talk about the Eastern Standard Time. So from 8 to 10, that will be actually finance track. And I want to mention very specific here. You know that I organize students to help the student to participate all those competitions, right? But F001, that's the finance class, is only offered during the spring. And the reason, actually two reasons. One reason is the spring semester is actually right before the competition starts in the fall. So this class will better prepare the students to understand all the knowledges in the financial world. So I actually feel that this is actually the class any student want to participate in the investment competition should attend. Any investment competition should attend. And this is actually covers the basic business concepts, and talking about the basic accounting concepts, and then talking about the investment and how to do the valuation, and how to invest, create your own investment strategy. So this is actually a rather complete course in the investment. Okay, and Saturday afternoon, that class is B001 and 2 and 3. This is actually the strategy track. This is talking about business concepts and talking about internal business analysis. We're going to talk about general business models. We'll talk about BCG matrix. We'll talk about VRIO, VCA analysis. So all the internal business analysis. And in B003, this is actually talk about the external business analysis, and including Porter's 5 forces, and combined with what the student learned from B002, they learn to create the SWOT analysis. And then the second half of this class is actually taught students how to implement a business strategy, going through a very big case, which is actually a real one, a real case, and for the student to learn how to create their own business strategy and how to implement. Okay, And Saturday evening, there's in the coming spring semester, that's another track, which is the marketing track. And the marketing track is actually talking about, of course, the B001 is always the same. Those B001 are the same class. You can take either one and follow with any others. So it starts with the business concepts, and then we talk about advertisement. We talk about marketing tools as a like advertisement. And in particular, in M001, we also taught one of the very, very important skill the student should know, which is presentation skills. And there's a lot of overlap between the presentations and advertisement. So this is why we put those two together to create this class M001. And M002 is actually use the knowledge you learned from the B001 and the knowledge you learned from M001 to create your own marketing campaign. So M001 as the advanced classes in the marketing is actually help the student to understand how to create their own marketing campaigns. Okay, and then these tracks, the top 3 tracks are actually for the weekends, and every class is like 2 hours per week, and you can see that the B001, F001, B002, those are 5-week classes, and those advanced classes are actually 10 weeks. So our spring or fall semester always consists with 20 weeks study and divided with 5 weeks, 5 weeks, and 10 weeks. And those 3 tracks are actually for the weekends. And then we have a Monday and Wednesday classes. This one is actually aimed to spread the knowledge and spread the teaching into 2 days. Each day is 1 hour, but altogether it's still 2 hours per week. So also all the Monday, Wednesday, weekday classes are 5 weeks each and 2 hours per week, but it's a spread on Monday and Wednesday. And this is also only 1 hour. And so this actually for the students might be easier for the student to accommodate their own schedule. So, and also all those classes, N001, D001, L001, those are the special topic classes. The difference for the M003. And M003 is the new class created since the last, I think, this year's spring semester. And M003 is actually something called capstone marketing. And this is actually a great opportunity, especially for students like 10th grade or 11th grade or 12th grade. And for those students to participate in this capstone, this is the class I actually will find a real business owner, and all the students will form a consulting team to provide marketing or strategy recommendations to that small business. Okay, and this class has been very successful in the spring, and the students there actually create a very successful business plan for the small business. And it turns out that a small business owner actually hired several of the students from the group as an intern, summer internship. So this is a great opportunity, but this is really, you have to receive enough education. So M03 will only offer to the students who complete or finishing the advanced classes over here, because this is actually class you will use the knowledge you learned from F001, B003, M002, and O003, and those classes. You have to use those knowledge and provide the consulting services for the small business. It's a real small business, and so we'll see. This is actually a great opportunity for my student to participate. Okay, and you may notice that we have 4 tracks. We have actually 5 tracks, and including this special topic, but we only have 4 slots here. So the difference is this: during the spring semester, we will offer finance classes, F01 or F02. But during the fall semester, because that's the semester I organize many competition events, so that's the semester we actually replace the F01, F02, the finance track, with the classes in operations. Okay, so that means finance classes are only offered in the spring semester, and the operation classes will only offered in the fall semester. So take your make your choice, and I do strongly encourage the students who want to participate in any investment competition, participate these finance track classes during the spring semester. Okay, and I want to mention, before I leave to the next slide for the contact information, I would like to actually emphasize the missing track over here, the track only offered during the fall semester, which is the operation strategy. And this fall semester is actually the first time we actually offered this class, and the results is great actually. And the students learn how to do the optimization of their own activities, and be it wash the dogs, be it making ramen noodles, or be it going to school in the morning. So those are actually, that operation classes is actually great for the students. And that's actually one of the emphasis of the whole design of the classes. We are actually trying to use this systematic approach of business education to teach the student how to finish things in a business environment. But those techniques, those skills they learn can be easily applied to anything else, to their life events, to their school projects, to their college applications. The skills they learned will not only be limited to business world, but rather in their daily lives as well. And that's actually one of the reasons why we created this systematic approach of business education for middle school and high school students. All right, so I'm going to stop here. And here is actually the contact information. And I welcome everyone to, you can scan the barcode, or you can just search me with MBA for Youth, MBA FORYOUTH, and you can connect me through the WeChat. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And also, feel free to use the emails if you want. But I have to admit, I check my emails. I just received too many emails in this email account. So the best way to contact me is either via the WeChat or via Microsoft Teams. And with Microsoft Teams, I use the same Gmail address to register, which is mbaforyouth@gmail.com. You can, once you create your own Microsoft Teams account, you can connect with me and send me instant messages. And I always encourage the parents and the students to contact me through the Microsoft Teams, and which is I almost always open on my desktop. So if you send me a message, I will probably respond to you very, very quickly. Okay. All right. So I think that's all I want to cover for this, to give you introduction of the MBA for Youth program. And well, it's been an hour. Thank you for anyone to stay here. That's really appreciate your time spending here. Okay, so do you have any questions? Please feel free to ask. Let me check the chat. Oh, the chat is saying for the winter classes, can it be adjusted to the evening time? I don't have a preference for the afternoon time or the evening time, but that's actually originally planned when I collaborate with the Arts of Science, and that's actually the time being set there. Like over the past winter camps, my class is always in the afternoon time. But how about this, Jilin? Send me connect with me, send me a WeChat message or Microsoft Teams message, and we can talk about it. And we can see what we can do. All right. And also do remind you that we do offer the same classes, the N001, D01 in the spring semester as well. Okay. Any other questions?
孟教授，我想请教一下，就是说，比如说小孩子从来没有学过这些课程，比如说6年级的孩子，我不知道他是不是，就是说 how to get started， 就是说您这边比如说summer 不有个 winter 的那个哈，然后后面还有那个 January 的，就是说什么样的课，就是让他 get started， 看有没有 interest 呀。
我其实这个 slide 就是我一直想给家长们看的，就是我觉得很多家长都有一个问题，就是说我们家孩子太小了，或者我们家孩子太大了，怎么办 ？Right？ And 太小了好说，太小了好说呢？为什么呢？就是说，我觉得小孩子就是应该在那个 stage 怎么让他们 interest。所以这块我特地提的就是说，在小的时候就要学会给他们提供一些机会，让他们去 learn。让他们去知道这些东西，那么这个就是我觉得很重要的。那么像您刚才说的是，您家孩子6年级是吧？那我觉得像 Winter Camp 或者是 Spring Semester 这个 class， 就是如果我看那个 class 的话，我看在这儿，像这里面说这个 A001， 这个我不建议特别小的孩子上，因为这个至少要需要 algebra 的 knowledge， 至少要9年级，我觉得才会更好的 understand how to analyze the business data。但是像 negotiation 或者是 law ethics 或者是这个 business decision in psychology 这3门课，我觉得6年级的孩子一点问题都没有，因为他们已经sophisticated enough to understand those concepts。然后呢，6、7年级的时候也可以开始考虑，可以上这个门课，就是 business concepts。business concept 这门课实际上是相当于是 foundation of all the tracks， 而且在这门课上，孩子们就可以知道 what is business，right？And 这一门课实际上我其实觉得是所有的孩子都应该参加，不管是不是现在对 business 感兴趣还是不感兴趣。我觉得这门课这门课实际上是我设计的第1门课，我花的时间最多，尽管这门课很短，只有5周，但是这门课实际上我设计的非常非常详细，就是为了让学生知道什么是 business， 到底我们一说business 是什么？是挣钱，还是说我们要干点什么？这节课实际上 answer 这个 question， 所以我会觉得，如果像6、7年级这个样子，6、7年级的时候可以 start with the special topic N001、L001、D001， 同时也可以想想 B001， 看时间安排，然后到后来嘛，那我就会建议从 marketing 开始 ，marketing、strategy、operation、finance 按照这么一个 track 过来。那么 eventually 就是像我说的 overall that's actually entrepreneurship。
OK，刚才那个秀的就是 Winter Camp，我们是什么一个组合
Winter Camp 就是 negotiation 和 decision making
？OK，没有
psychology。
那个 B001，而且是跳过
没有
去了
B
是吧？
zero the one，对 B zero the one 只是 offer 在只是在每个学期的最开始的
OK，
或者是 January 这个时间，或者是 August 这个时间，都是
OK，
每一个学期的最开始5周。这个主要是因为很多学生希望的是上这样一个 track，他们就一直在星期五。那么下个学期呢，实际上这个 track 会 rotate，下个学期就可以上 M。然后就是这样一个，实际上最初
呀
的设计是这样。
呀，这个是很系统的。所以说，如果孩子没有，就是说刚才讲的没有特别的基础，但是 Winter Camp 也是OK 的，是吧？
可以的，
因为因为
没问题的，没问题
OK
的。
有2个 track，OK 具体的
对
可能到时候再跟
对
您请教。
对，你可以
谢谢。
跟我继续联系，这个没问
OK
题。嗯
OK 好，Thank you。
，OK，
孟教授您
哎，
好，我可以问个问题吗？
您问。
哎，你好，你好，我是一个small business owner，然后
嗯
呢，所以我觉得就是您这个课程的设计，我觉得非常好，尤其对于孩子们来说。然后我的问题就是说，您的这个 course material 都是您自己编写的，是吗
对的，对的，对的。
？OK，然后就是说，到时候会给他们 slides，比如说方便他们
对
日后。
对对对，我实际上有一个 slide，因为时间我没有说，其中有一个问题就是说，因为也有家长问说我要不要买一本书啦什么的，不需要的。因为所有的 material 我都已经实际上是完全是 organize 好的，然后呢，我们会通过那个 Canvas，通过
嗯
Canvas create a course page，然后所有的学生都可以通过 Canvas 去 download the lecture notes。
嗯
而且呢，我们也会有那个 class recording。如果你要 miss 1、2节课是没问题的，但是我一定要强调 here，这个课程，尤其是 business education，就是去看一个录像，我不能说一点用没有，我会说非常的没有效率。
嗯
OK，
，OK，
因为我想，如果你是 business owner，你会知道这个很多东西需要跟别人的 interaction，你才会
对对。
知道怎么做一个
是
business。
practice 和 discussion，对不对？
对对对对，
然后还有一个问题就是说，这个问题可能比较不合适啊，就是说，比如这个是通过 Zoom 来上课是吗？
对，通过 Zoom。
那么 Zoom 的话，那这个我作为一个 parent，我可以 sit in 吗？就是说我可以旁听吗？还是不可以？
可以旁听，
啊
因
啊，
为我不觉得，我不觉得这个，但是我得承认啊，这个所有的课程都是 tailored to middle school high school students。那么
嗯
parents，我不会 encourage parents to participate，比如说他们的 group discussion 啦，或者说他们 project 的那个 management 的 part 啦，或者说这个
嗯
我都不 encourage。
，right
我
right，of
希
course
望
not。
的，对，我希望的就是学生他们会主动的去互相联系，然后去主动的去完成一个 project。那么我们会有一整套的方法来 encourage student 去做。但是呢，我这话先说在最前方啊，whatever，这话是这么说的，就是说我个人认为，business education should be for every student。但是
嗯
我并不认为所有的 student 都会 really enjoy 或者是 will choose business as a future career。But
嗯
但是在同时，我认为所有的学生，不论是他是喜欢 business 还是不喜欢 business，或者他 STEM focus，或者是怎么样，他们都应该有一个 business mind。而这个 business mind，我觉得不是通过后来的教育，而是通过前面的教育，要从前面的 foundation 做起。这就是为什么我们要有这样，我一直觉得这实际上是，算是我的建立这个 MBA for Youth 这个 program 的 mission statement 吧。
嗯，对对，谢谢您这个回答非常详细。那个下一个问题就是说，我儿子的话，他现在是8年级，那
嗯
么他就是说，我就让他如果强行让他，比如说咱们这个放假的时候上2门课吧，因为可能对他来说，他可能有一点抵触情绪，因
嗯
为呢，这个家伙是从来没有上过任何的extracurricular stuff 的，我是那种 hands-free 的 mom。然后呢，所以您觉得他这个2门，一个 negotiation，一个 business decision。 你觉得哪门课您更建议就是8年级小孩来上呢？
如果是这样的话，我这个我需要问这么一个问题，就是说
嗯
这个对孩子来说，他更喜欢什么？因为这2门课其实挺不同的。譬如说 negotiation 这个更多的是这个 class activity 更多的是我们会分组进行 negotiate。
嗯
而这个 negotiation，譬如说是一个很大的 case，是一个相当于是，实际上是一个，也是一个 real case。那么相当于是他们个别分别代表买家和卖家去买卖一个房屋，他们去 negotiate 这个 price，negotiate condition，purchase condition 是这么一个 case。那么我不知道您家孩子是更喜欢这种 interaction，而这个呢，而另外一门课呢，decision making 呢，里面会涉及了很多 psychology 的 knowledge。譬如说，举个例子来说，我现在要卖一个200块钱的东西，我要卖一个400块钱的东西，那么我们怎么能够设计一个 anchor，那么让大家觉得更乐意买那个400块钱的东西？那
嗯，
么像这种 psychological 的这种 manipulation，是不是你们家孩子更喜欢的？那么
对，
这2个课实际上就是不一样的，所以
嗯
如果要选其中一个，我觉得需要更 tailored 到孩子的 interest 上。
对，我明白您
所以
的意思。
对，你可
嗯
以跟他解释一下这2门课的大概区别。如果还有问题，你可以跟我其实我经常做这个事情啊，就是很多 parents 实际上是不知道自己的孩子到底喜欢什么，所以我很多情况下我会跟孩子和家长会 schedule 一个30 minutes 的一个 interview，然后我们
嗯
会跟学生和家长一起来讨论我们希望怎么做。而且我觉得这样对于我了解学生，然后对于学生来了解这个课程都是非常有好处的。所以 feel free if you want to do that。
好，明白了，谢谢您。对对，您说的非常有道理，要因材施教，对吧？根据他的兴
对，
趣来
对的，
决定
对的，
选什么课。
对的，
嗯，
对，
好，谢谢您，谢谢，非常感谢。
没问题。All right, any other questions？
孟老师你好，
哎，
我有个
行，
问题
你好。嗯，
啊，就是这个课程，不论是就是报哪一个课程，除了这个课间的学习之外，课后孩子们需要做的是什么？就是有多大的一个工作量？
对，这个我其实也应该提一下，在当时的介绍的时候是这样。我来先看一下这个总体的课程吧，总体课程。OK，为什么这个 special topics 的课呢会放在 weekdays？其实是因为这些课上我会尽量的把大部分的内容、大部分的 group study 都放在课上。所以一般来说，像 special topics 这些课，一般每节课后15分钟左右，最多半个小时，就应该把所有的 home assignment，包括一些 interaction 的东西都应该能完成。所以这就是为什么我觉得这些课适合于 winter camp，因为他们不需要太多的课外时间来做这件事情。那么这些课，这些 track marketing strategy operation finance 这些课呢，实际上呢，大部分的课都是需要做 project。譬如说举个例子，在 B001 里面的课里面，那么他们会分组，作为一个公司的不同的 role，executive member，像 CEO、CFO，他们会有自己的 role。那么具体呢，他们会设计自己公司的产品，然后呢，找到自己产品对应的 customer。那么这个是最后的结果是一个 roadshow presentation。那么这个 roadshow present 这个一个路演的过程，这是一个 project。那么你要问我具体要花多长时间，这个是真的要 depends 那个分组的那组怎么样。但是一般来说，像这些课，一般来说不应该超过每周的时间，不应该超过1个小时。就应该可以完成，或者是 individual 的 work，或者是 group 的 work，应该是没有问题的。
对，这个分组的话，是您这边来根据每个孩子情况来给分，还是他们自己来选择这个 team？
其实不同的课有不同的选择的 criteria，譬如说像 B01 这个呢，我实际上最开始会做一个，在上完第1节课，就准备开始分组了。在分组的过程中呢，会根据他们学生的 preference， 他们有不同的想选择不同的 role， 然后呢，还有根据他们的年龄，然后甚至包括性别，甚至这个我都会考虑到进去。但是呢，我知道很多家长会有这么一个想法，就是说我们家孩子，譬如说11年级他可能不愿意跟6年级的或者7年级的孩子分组，对吧？这个我觉得这很 very very solid thinking。但是实际上在我的这个教育的这个过程中，我实际上发现了年龄实际上不是最重要的，其实最重要的是每一个学生他们自己到底对他们自己的定位是什么。他们如果自己对自己的定位是我就要 participate 这个，他们会非常 active， 就算是年纪小，实际上他们更 active 在这个 group 里的，他们最后得到的东西更多。然后呢，年纪大的呢，如果就是非常 lay back， 那么实际上反而得到的东西最少。所以我觉得更多的是要看他们的 participation， 而不是看他们的 age。OK， 但是像您说的这个分组这个东西，确实是我一直不断的在想到底怎么分。我曾经试过各种不同的分组方法，按年龄分，按 grade 分，或者是按他们的interest 的分，就各种方法。但是最后就发现，实际上按 grade 和按 age 实际上影响不大。
OK， 好，明白了，谢谢。
没问题。OK，any other questions？
Dr. Meng 是在那个美西的家庭，然后之前一直也是那个跟着你那个课在上，但是开学之后的话，因为毕竟有时差在，就是我们想上这几个课，好像经常都是在周中，然后从我们这边时间看就是5点，所以想问有没有可能就是说有一些课它会，比如说以前的周6的课，然后会跟周5的课交换一下或怎么样，这样我们可能就会有机会能听到更多的课。谢谢。
实际上会 rotate 的，譬如说 Friday 的，像就是这么说吧，譬如说如果就是 Friday 晚上的这个课，这对应的是就是相当于是 Saturday 早晨，对吧？那么这个时间
对应我们 Friday 的晚上，就是晚上5点，就相当于刚放学特别赶，可能到错过开头的那种。
OK， 那在这种情况下，如果要是譬如说那就选譬如说 Saturday 这个课，那么 Saturday 这个课这个学期会是这个 strategy， 那么下一个学期实际上应该就是 replace 这个 F01， 这时候就应该讲 operation， 然后再下一个学期实际上就是 marketing。 所以这个课如果你就是在一个时间段可以方便的话，那如果就是按照每个学期算，它实际上都会 rotate 的，它会不同的课，每个学期都会变的。
好的，谢谢。
Kevin。
你好，孟教授。问一下，这个授课的话，包括讨论是全程都是英文吗？学生之间
全程都是英文。
好的。其他的没了，其他关于时间的问题，刚才您已经解答了。谢谢。
好的。对，所以这个对于我觉得还是需要有一定的 English proficiency 在里面。但是我不知道Kevin 您也是在哪个时间？
我在中国。
对，我估计是。在这种情况下，实际上我实际上有很多学生在中国，他们一般选择的就是像我刚才说的，就是选择 Friday 或者 Saturday 这个时间段，实际上对应中国就是周6和周日的上午。
是的。
对。
好的，我只是担心我们家孩子英语能不能跟上。
如果是这种情况下，您可以跟我 schedule 一个 interview， 这个我经常做。
好的。
对，可以
好的，
跟我一个
好的，
schedule interview，然后可以看一下这个到底适合不适合。但是一般来说，我觉得国内现在英语教学非常好，我碰着的孩子，大部分的孩子都是一点问题都没有的。
好，谢谢您，我来联系您，好，谢谢。
好，没问题。
孟教授，我想再问一个问题，很快的，就是说啊，这帮孩子们上课之后啊，就是另外可能有点 homework，就是您怎么 follow up 他们的 progress， 或者说有没有吸收这个有什么办法？对
OK，所以呢，这个呢，我再用那个 B001 来做解释啊。譬如说 B001 最开始是怎么做的呢？是这样，首先呢，会做一个 survey，让他们做自己的 preference，就是我想做什么 role 啦，我想干什么啦。然后呢，他每一个人呢都会最后呢是有一个 share 的 documents，这个 share documents 他们会自己 share with the group，同时 share with me。然后呢，在这个 share document 从第一节课一直到最后一节课，实际上这个 share document 他们是在不断的往里头加东西。比如说这节课我们去讲的 product， 那么在这个 share document 里呢会有一项专门去讨论这个 product 到底是什么，然后他们会有自己的 in class discussion 和 after class discussion， 他们会决定 OK， 我们组决定做这个 product。我现在大概我来想想，我估计我现在我如果把这些孩子的 product idea 都攒起来，我估计现在得有近100个了。近100个这种 product idea 非常有意思。然后呢，他们在讨论完这 project， 然后呢，在第二节课呢会讨论customer 和 market。那么在他们课后和在课上的时候，他们就会开始填这个 share documents。那么在这个 share documents， 他们就会有自己的 idea 啦，自己要找什么样的 customer， 他们都会通过 discussion， 然后每一个人都会有自己的工作。OK， 然后呢，到了第3节课呢，我们会谈我们会谈一下这个我们谈一下 competition， 谈一下 risk， 那么都有对应的，在这个 share document 都有对应的项目，他们需要填。那么 eventually 他们在第4节课的时候，他们就会有一个 complete document， 而这个 document 实际上就是一个 very short business plan，not a complete version but rather short business plan。 那么根据这个 business plan， 他们这一组就会 create 一个 roadshow presentation， 在第5节课。那么在第5节课，我一般情况下会找一些过去的学生或者一些或者我其他的老师，我们来做一个就跟一个 Shark Tank 一样，就是相当于让学生来做一个 presentation， 介绍一下自己的公司，介绍自己的理念、产品、顾客、市场 everything。 那么相当于说这就是我们想做的事情，一个 business idea， business very simple business plan。 那么在这种情况下，整个这个 process， 如果你要不做事情的话，我没法揪着学生说你必须做这个。但是在这样一个 group 的 setting 和我们这个课程设计上，一般的孩子我很少见到，可能几乎没有见到过，就是说这个孩子一点都不做，什么都不干，太少了，太少见了。正常的孩子都会跟着大家一块儿去做这个 process， 去学这个新的东西。
OK， 谢谢。就是很多是 group， 就是 group study、group project， 这个我觉得
对，会有 encouragement， 所以 project driven、group driven， 所以这是我们整个这个基本上所有的课都是这样子，所有的课最后都会有一个都有一个 roadshow presentation。 那么我不是说就是讲完了10节课，然后说这块就是 roadshow， 不是这样的，而是在整个这个过程中，它都是在不断的在填这个内容，不断的在填这个内容。Eventually 你就会发现I already have everything. I just need to find a way to present it. That's all.
非常好，非常感谢。
Okay, any other questions? Okay, 如果没有其他的 question 了，那我们就已经都1个半小时，那我们就这样。然后呢，I will make a recording of this whole seminar And if you need a recording to show to other people, please just feel free to contact me, and I will share the video with you. All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And well, it's almost the end of the weekend, so have fun. Have the happy holiday in the future. Take care. Bye.
谢谢。
谢谢，拜拜。